Thank you so much for clicking on our video. My name is Skyly and I am the founder of Forever Counts Real Estate Group. If you've clicked on this video, it means that you are looking to brainstorm with other entrepreneurs, you are looking to grow your business, and that is so exciting because we want to collaborate with you. That is the whole point of the collaborative mastermind movement that we have created. So thank you again for clicking on the video. I hope you find tremendous value in every video that you watch, and I'm excited to have you on this journey with us.
So Skyly, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. And you can use this in like mortgage broker world. You can use this in anything that is real estate or mortgage related. So let's say I went and I got licensed as a real estate agent today. And I got a little button made up that says, I'm a realtor, and I stuck it on my shirt. What are people going to ask me?
How's the market?
Yeah. So Skyly, I'm going to put you to the test. How's the market?
Well, there's a lot of different things going on with the market, Joe. Are you looking to buy, sell, or refinance?
Love it. Right. Now, to me, that is one of like, you couldn't ask it any or answer it any differently, but it's one of those skills that people struggle with. They go like, or I'll say like, hey, Jamie, how are mortgage rates? You'd say, oh, well, we got this rate schedule change and this is coming up. Here's when we're going to talk about it. But it's a great way to actually qualify people. So it's almost like this weird mindset flip. So when somebody goes, how's the market? What a great question. Thank you so much for asking me. I love it when people engage with that question. So the market's actually divided up into different sections. There's buying, selling, and renting.
Renting, I missed that one. I was like, I know that there was another one. I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue. I started
Which one are you most curious about? To which somebody would reply, Skyly, just hit me with one.
I'm just thinking about downsizing.
Downsizing, okay. So is it yourself that's downsizing, or are you asking on behalf of someone else?
It's me.
It's you, okay. So really quickly, let me ask you, what is it about your home that isn't working for you that kind of has you considering downsizing to begin with?
Well, I thought that I wanted a big house, but it's actually a lot to clean.
Let's just pause there for a second, because you're going like right deep into this. You're like, ready. I'm telling you everything that's wrong with my house. But that's the point of the conversation. But so many times people say like, wow, the market is like so crazy right now. Or I love it when people say houses over $1 million are actually sitting. And then in my mind, I'm like, wow, well, my parents have a house that's over $1 million. So I guess maybe I'll use somebody else if that's your experience. Those are the narratives that people build in their mind while you're trying to scramble for something really smart to say to make yourself sound knowledgeable, busy, and important. The best thing you can do, like if I was to say, hey, Jamie, how are the mortgage rates right now? What would you say to me?
They're moving.
They're moving.
Yeah.
Ask me how the mortgage rates are.
How are the mortgage rates?
That's a really great question. So let me ask you, were you thinking about renovating, refinancing, or possibly moving?
Yeah. Yes, I was thinking about doing a renovation, but
okay, perfect. And again, now you're into an actual qualified conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Most people will just say, oh yeah, rates are moving. They're all over the place right now. We had like a 40-year low in rates, and then we got these changes coming up, variable rates, the difference between a variable and a fixed. And people are just like, too long, didn't read. I'm out, right? And here we are trying to come up with something that's really like smart and valuable. But the best thing you can do in those conversations is start to qualify and ask them questions. It's almost like flipping it around. And it's a skill that I would say most people don't have, because you've got to be a little bit brave, because it's so easy just to give somebody what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like what's that sort of follow-up piece, right? Like I'd love to tell you more and explore your exact situation and how I can help you either lower a monthly payment, maybe extend an amortization, or really help you get that kitchen that you want. So it's not so much how the rates are doing in general, but it's what is it about your situation that has you asking. Yeah. So it's just about answering the question a little bit differently. Sorry, Skyly, what were you saying?
I said they ask for a reason too, right? Like it's easy to give like that broad answer, but then they're asking because they're curious for a purpose. And we just don't know that purpose. But I think the narrative that we have is that when people ask a question, you always want to answer with a statement. You never want to ask with a question. You have to like reprogram your brain in order to ask questions from questions instead of answering with statements. That was something big that where I learned it from, but questions are king. When someone asks you a question, you always have to answer it with a question so that you can figure out actually what they want. Like, why are they asking it?
And like keeping the serve, right? You want to keep volleying it back so that the conversation just doesn't like stop dead in its tracks. You hit it back every time they come to you, and that way you can kind of just hopefully keep the momentum of the conversation going, right?
Yeah,
oh, absolutely, right. And that's just it. It's what, how do you keep that momentum? Because again, like Skyly said, people are asking for a reason. I know it's like just a really quick hit with a skill, but it's just something that takes practice, right? So again, if I was a mortgage broker, I'd be like, great question.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much. Were you curious because you're looking at like renovating, refinancing, or possibly thinking of a move?
Yeah.
And then just
that's really good. And it's true because, like, of course, you get that question all the time. So why wouldn't I have like a more calculated response to it?
I mean, and then at least they can say, well, I'm actually thinking about renovating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking about refinancing. Okay. How come?
Yeah.
Right. You're buying an investment property, maybe. Who knows? Then you're like, okay, well, maybe I got some opportunity here. Well, I'm thinking about moving. Okay. Well, new mortgage product. Here we go. Right. And it's almost like real estate. Well, are you buying, possible purchase, selling, possible listing? Maybe they're just curious about a rental. Mm-hmm. And then in that case, maybe you can connect it with somebody that you know and hopefully add some value, because renters are future buyers, essentially. It's kind of how we look at it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a different way to answer that question. And again, it takes skill. It takes like tact, but more than anything else, it just takes practice. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to like let it roll smoothly, or it just sounds really, really lunky.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
So just food for thought, quick skill.
I like it. Like you said, though, practice, right? Because if you can just like right off the hop, whatever, then it feels natural, right? If you're like stuttering over your words.
Yeah, and the tricky part is nobody really practices. We practice on live clients, which like always blows my mind. Is people try these skills like scripting and role play and all this stuff. They practice on clients, like live potential clients, and it like just sends shivers down my spine. Like, I'm a huge sports fan. Again, baseball jersey in the background. I'm rocking a Kobe jersey today. But there, do you guys know much about basketball? Anybody here?
I know you put a ball in a hoop.
Put a ball in a hoop. There's a guy. There's a dude playing basketball right now, and his name is Steph Curry. Anybody heard of Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you'd be shocked, right? Some people living under a rock. So Steph
My husband's obsessed with basketball.
Right. Well, then he's going to know this.
Yeah.
So Steph Curry, earlier this season, he hit the record for the most 3-point shots ever made in NBA history. Record holder. And I remember about maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, but I remember this one game. I don't even like Golden State that much, but anyway, I digress. Golden State was down by 21 points. 21 points in the fourth, right? It's like 6 minutes left. So they got to start formulating a game plan. So everybody realized that Steph Curry, between practice all the way up to the fourth quarter of the game, had sunk 71 3-pointers in a row. 71 between practice all the way up to the game. So down by 21, do the math. How many does he need?
So down by what?
He's down by 21 points. How many 3-pointers do they need to tie?
Is it 7?
Yeah, 7. Right? 7. To win, you could say 8. Right?
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
So the whole game plan was this dude's made 71 in a row. Give him the ball. So every time they go up the court, Steph Curry would set up just outside the 3-point line. He'd get the ball and he'd shoot. But guess how many he made in a row? Just take a guess. He needed 8. How many do you think he made?
Did you do 7?
8. He hit 8. 1 by 3.
Holy shit.
Right? Even then, whatever. So here's where the magic happened. ESPN, after the game, started breaking down the game footage. And they started focusing on Steph Curry for those last 8 shots. When he was making the shots, what do you think he was doing? Just throw something out there. Crossing his fingers, maybe. What do you think he was doing? He's closing his eyes. Yeah, every shot he had his eyes closed. Why do you think he had his eyes closed?
Was he praying?
I know I would have been.
It's like so repetition for him, right?
Muscle memory. Where he put himself is he put himself on a court during practice.
Yeah.
What he did in practice, he did in the game. And he was able to visualize it with his eyes closed with 3 defenders. And the shortest defender on him was 4 inches taller. There's pictures. You go in, you can look, go Steph Curry, eyes closed. And you'll see guys over top of him. And he's just sitting there with his eyes closed, deadpan.
Okay, I have to look. That's crazy.
You're looking it up right now, aren't you?
I am.
Practice. Be Steph Curry with his eyes closed.
It's actually popping up everywhere. It's like 3-point eyes closed.
Do you think I'm making this up?
No, but I'm impressed that it's like I didn't even type in the whole thing, and it's just like with all of it.
Yeah,
But
and that's the thing. It's sometimes in these games, or in these clutch performances, he'll actually close his eyes and he'll envision the practice that he did to get himself to that point. And this is somebody who's at the pinnacle of his game. So if he's doing that, my question to you would be, why aren't you?
Practice.
Food for thought. That's all I got.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me back.
A little Friday motivation.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. We need it today.
You guys want a fun fact of the day?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love fun facts.
Fun facts. All right. Maybe you know this one, maybe you don't. The first recorded and used instance of the word mullet is on the album Ill Communications in 1994 by the Beastie Boys.
That is a fun fact.
Now we have a song of the day.
Yeah. Beastie Boys coined the term mullet in 1994 on Ill Communication. It's first recorded.
In 94 though, because I thought mullets were a thing before 94.
But they might have been called something else. But the first use of the word mullet was Ill Communication, 1994.
That's fair.
You gonna fact check me on that as well?
No, but that would make sense because I was born in 92. I'm making myself very young right now. But I remember everybody in my like age demographic and my parents, mullets were like a huge thing. Like I have a picture of like my dad with a mullet, my brother with a mullet, like Cody has pictures having a mullet. Like it's like a big 90s thing. So when you say 94, I'm like, that's fair. Because I just am going back to the 90s for mullets.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because that's just like everybody's like, well, that term's been around forever. Well, it hasn't. 1990, it was called something else, but the word mullet, not the hairstyle, the word Beastie Boys, 1994. There you go.
I have to run, but thank you so much, everyone, for the numbers and the mullets.